In this video, we will demonstrate how Google Safe Browsing and Microsoft Windows Defender Chrome extensions perform against zero-hour phishing attacks. This device is using the latest version of Google Safe Browsing and Microsoft Windows Defender. With Google Safe Browsing turned on and Windows Defender browser extension installed, we will click on a number of zero-hour phishing URLs to see how Google and the Microsoft technologies perform. The zero-hour phishing URLs are sourced from SlashNext threat intelligence portal, a broad intelligence gathering network with powerful detection technology, resulting in tens of thousands of new zero-hour detections daily. Let's get started. First, let's check to ensure the Windows Defender extension is properly installed. The first set of phishing URLs we will try are credential stealing. Here's a fake Netflix login page. Both Google and Microsoft did not block the page. Let's take a look at another URL. It's the same fake Netflix login page. Threat actors often register multiple domains to host the same phishing page to avoid blacklisting. These URLs were not blocked. The next URL is a Bank of Colombia phishing page, not blocked. This URL is a fake Alibaba page hosted on appdomain.cloud, a service of Google Cloud. These types of web services are becoming a favorite target of threat actors and are exposed to this type of abuse. Instead of hosting phishing pages on newly registered domains, attackers choose these types of hosting providers to bypass blacklisting and domain reputation engines. The next URL is a lookalike PayPal phishing page, hosting on a dynamic DNS hosting provider. This is another example of using legitimate cloud infrastructure to avoid blacklisting. Let's try another URL. Okay, Google Safe Browsing blocked this page and Microsoft too. Our last credential stealing URL is not blocked, but the phishing page is gone. The threat actors work quickly to host compromised websites, and once it's blacklisted, they move on. This happens so fast, sometimes less than 45 minutes, many security vendors don't have a chance to blacklist the domain before it's gone. The next category of phishing URLs we will explore are rogue browser extensions. These malicious browser extensions can be hosted on Google stores using convincing pages to lure you into installing these bad extensions. Once installed on a browser, these rogue extensions have access to everything you do within that browser. There are two security issues. First, these extensions are on the Chrome store, bypassing Google's security review process. Second, Google Safe Browsing has not blocked the threat. Let's try another URL. This looks like an authentic request to update your Adobe Flash Player. It's not, it's malware. These types of attacks often spread through advertisements. The lure is a convincing video, and once you click, a pop-up asks you to update your Flash Player. One thing to notice that in this case, attackers are using Amazon Cloud to host this phishing page. Attackers are increasingly using Amazon AWS, Google, Microsoft, IBM Cloud, and other hosting services as part of their phishing attacks to evade detection. Let's click on another link. This phishing lure is pretending to be a newsfeed extension. It's not. Blocked by Google or Microsoft, and once it's installed, the browser is hijacked to serve the user a steady stream of phishing pop-up notifications and web pages without your consent. The next URL is a new type of phishing payload. The phishing page tricks the user to allow automated browser notifications to get the latest news and updates. However, these types of automated notifications are managed by the threat actors serving malicious content without the user's consent. For example, if the user is browsing or conducting a Google search, the legitimate results may be intercepted and suddenly redirected to a phishing site. This permanent browser infection is very dangerous because it can force your browser to be open to unsolicited web content. Here's another URL with the same type of attack. So far, none of these rogue browser attacks have been blocked by Google or Microsoft. Let's try another category, scareware. The most popular type of scareware is technical support scams, where a pop-up notification says your machine is infected and to call the 1-800 number. If successful, these threat actors will pretend to fix the infection through legitimate support software like LogMeIn or TeamViewer. After this fake support is over, they keep the remote software installed and often sell remote access credentials on the dark web. Although Microsoft Safe Browsing is on, none of these URLs are being blocked. The next URL is blocked by Google Safe Browsing, but not by Microsoft Defender. So far, more than a dozen URLs have not been blocked. Google Safe Browsing has blocked 2 URLs and Microsoft Defender only 1. The last category of phishing URLs we will test are scam attacks, which includes gift card scams, credit card, and money transfer scams. In this URL, the chance to win a Samsung phone is the lure for credit card fraud. Here's another URL offering free video streaming services. Neither of these have been blocked by Google Safe Browsing or Microsoft Defender. SlashNext multi-vector threat sourcing and patented SEER threat detection technology ensure browser users are protected from the widest range of phishing payloads, including credential stealing, man-in-the-browser attacks, document theft, credit card scams, money and wire transfer scams, tech support scams, scareware, and more. Let's look at SlashNext browser protection. Using the same portal used for Google Safe Browsing and Microsoft Defender comparison. Let's click on a few phishing URLs. Immediately, we receive a blocking notification and a warning page with a safe preview of the phishing page with details about the threat classification. Here's a credential stealing URL for PayPal. Here's another credential stealing page blocked with a safe preview. Okay, let's try a few more links. This URL is a malicious video play with an authentic looking request to update your Adobe Flash Player. Unlike Google and Microsoft, SlashNext provides real-time protection from live phishing threats, regardless of the attack vector or phishing payloads, providing users with information about the threat along with the ability to get a safe preview of the blocked phishing page. In addition, all block threats and forensics are available on the management portal for future review. It's simple to deploy and manage across all users and devices. Remote workers are at a greater risk of phishing threats by working outside of the perimeter. Built-in safe browsing on desktop browsers do not keep pace with newly emerging zero-hour threats. SlashNext browser phishing protection provides the industry's strongest zero-hour phishing threat detection for the widest range of phishing payload protection.